today on the new Rescue Beauty Lounge collection. Back in November or early November when I told you guys that I had won the Rescue Beauty Lounge contest, it was for this. So since November, I have been in contact with G, and I actually was provided a couple of nail polishes before in the winter time, which I showed you guys a video of. I showed you my Beautiful Beginnings video for Rescue Beauty Lounge, and I was also provided her new collection to review for you guys in video form as well as in blog form. So I have all of that for you guys today. Before I get started, again, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that voted for me, as well as to G and everyone at Rescue Beauty Lounge, because this is just still crazy to me that you guys voted and that I was chosen and all this stuff. So I am super, super thankful to everyone that was involved in this entire process, and it means just the most for me to be able to do this for you guys. The new collection is called a poem collection, and it was originally based off of a poem by Robert Frost called Ghost House. G sent us a little bit of background info in a press release, and it described how her friend she lives on the West Coast and I live on the West Coast, was tired of like super West Coast winter weather, and how G had read this poem by Robert Frost, and it just completely inspired her to do all these colors. And so I read that and I was really, really excited about it, because I am a huge fan of Robert Frost, and B, can totally relate to the story that she told us. In my blog post, which I will link down below, it'll have all the swatches for all the colors, but it'll also list that entire story. I'll have it all written out for you guys. I will read a little bit for you guys because it is a really cool story, but just to give you a little bit of overview on the collection, that's what it's about, and it's filled with really unique and really beautiful colors. So to tell you a little bit more on the whole story about what is behind this collection, basically G, who is East Coast based, is going through basically what regular winter is for everyone. She, they have the cold and she's wearing all these layers, and her friend texts her and says she misses that type of weather. So while she's at home, looking at all the colors that she's already mixed, she is going through and thinking, I don't quite want to do that yet with the glitters and the happy colors, and she wants something more nostalgic and something a little bit more wintry, because that's what she's living through. It's obviously not what I'm living through, but yeah, so she's going through this whole process, and then she remembers this quote by Karen Thompson Walker, and it's, "Even beauty in abundance turns creepy," and then that sort of turns into an inspirational thing for a nail polish collection, which I thought was really cool. I love reading background information and context like this when it comes into a beauty collection. I think brands like MAC especially have really unique inspirational things when it comes to their collections, and it's always fun to see that. Other brands like OPI, yeah, you get the countries and the celebrities and the movies and stuff that are really obvious inspirations, but I like a little bit more context behind a collection, and the Rescue Beauty Lounge collection this year, a poem collection, is perfect for someone like me that kind of craves stuff like that. So anyway, then she read the poem Ghost House by Robert Frost, and she came up with 7 colors straight from that poem, and I have the 7 colors to show you guys. So without further ado, I will show you guys the 7 colors. The first color is called A Lonely House, and it is a cream brown, sort of caramelly toned brown. It's a little bit darker than your standard caramel. This had an amazing formula. It was super, super smooth. It was opaque in 2 coats. It was almost opaque in 1 coat, and I don't have very many browns, so it was a nice color to add to my collection because it's just something that I don't own already. But also it was a very rich and earthy color, which she mentions in her press release, and I thought that was completely true. A lot of the colors in this collection are not going to be colors that are your standard spring colors. They're really good transition colors from winter to spring, or for example from summer to fall. They're going to fit really well in that sort of earthy category of transition. The description that G provided me for A Lonely House says, "The sleepy night sky swallows up the last of the dim sunlight. Like a black and white photograph from long ago, naked tree branches are covered in the snow that is falling on the ground, and the ubiquitous snow winds with wins with a smirk. A brown, weathered, broken wooden house remains without any apparent light or life, just there, content, scattered, and waiting. Out of its friendless and disparaged landscape dwells the perfect opaque brown, like handsomely worn English saddle leather, a rich and lush one-coater. That's definitely a perfect description for the color. Again, I agree, it's almost a one-coater for me. I did put 2 coats in all the swatches that you see in this video as well as in the photos, just because I like doing 2 coats. I think you can get away with 1 thicker coat with this, but if you're someone that's more comfortable doing thin coats, you are probably going to need 2 coats of this though. The next color is called Forgotten Road, and this is a slate gray, kind of blue toned opaque cream color. This one is really, really pretty, and I was so happy to get a gray in this collection because like a month ago, I Instagrammed a picture of one of my Rescue Beauty Lounge colors. It had fallen and it had died. The glass cracked and it was a gray cream, and it was one of my favorite gray creams, and I was just like gutted that it fell and it was done with. But yeah, I opened the box and there was a gray cream and I was so excited. It's obviously not the same gray cream. This is definitely darker. I believe the one that I had before was Stormy. This is darker and a little bit more blue toned. This is also opaque in 1 to 2 coats. You can do 1 thicker coat or you can do 2 thin coats to get full opacity with this color. It's definitely very, very pretty. It's the color of like stormy gray over the ocean. It's a very, very beautiful color. G's description of Forgotten Road: the snow has melted, a howling wind stamps, turns and tangos with a broken down house too many times. In the morning after they part, a charcoal road, faded over time, leads to the house yearning for companionship. In the slick asphalt road after the rain, I found a charcoal opaque gray. It is the color of a deep gray river rock that fits perfectly in your hand and the darkest shade of gray in the spectrum. A darker, moodier sister to Stormy, which is really funny because I just told you guys that story of Stormy. The next color I have for you is called Footpath, and this is a sort of mustardy yellow. It's not quite a yellow. It's got a little bit of an orange tone to it, so it's got a little bit of like it's like a browner, more brown toned mustard. This is another cream color. It's again super opaque. This one was more opaque for me than the first 2. It is definitely a 1-coater. It's definitely one of those ugly, pretty sort of chic colors. Not a lot of people make colors like this. So again, super unique, and the quality of this polish was amazing. For G's description, it says, after the incessant rain and flood, the yellowed clay earth slowly recovers and hardens. Unhurriedly the path heals, baked by the sun. The earth for a short while forgets and forgives its muddied past. The willow branches persistently swings, whispers, and sheds confetti of mustard-colored pollen, which blend to celebrate a marriage between 2 earthy yellow opaque hues. The earthened yellow is truly mellow, wearable, and surprisingly neutral. If you're on the fence about wearing a bright yellow, this is a perfect shade to ease into. I do agree that it is a good yellow to ease you into not just yellows, but also kind of orangey tone things, some browns as well. This color is called the Mosses War, and this is actually my favorite color of the collection. It is a mossy green. It's a little bit less bright than some of the mossy greens that you've seen. It's also a little bit more blue tone, so it's got a little bit of a dusty quality to it, another sort of stormier color. This is a very much like English foresty, foggy sort of green in my opinion. I saw it and I was very, very attracted to it. G's description says, the small creek sings and chatters, conversing with the busy birds pecking away at nature's supper. In between the brown house the wood has shed, there are sage-colored mosses burning up for a new, eager, erratic life. This is the color of the mosses in between stones or scattered deadwoods, parched and lightened by the sun, almost identical to the underside of aspen leaves when they tremble in the wind. This is a less yellow version of Diddy Mao 2.0. The next color I have to show you is called Wild Raspberries Grow, and this is a clear base with a very, very micro bright green glitter, like a grassy Crayola green glitter, and then bigger pink hexagonal pieces of glitter. It really does look like little wild raspberries in grass, for example. It reminds me a lot of the Happy Hands nail polish that was released last year on Easter. I think it's called Easter Hunt or Easter Egg Hunt, which is like grass green bar glitter with a bunch of circle glitters. It's the same effect in that you get exactly what this means. It looks like wild raspberries. It layers really nicely. The micro glitter goes on really nicely so it doesn't get too thick when you put it on your nails. It's a color that again will look good over the majority of the colors in this collection because of the sort of neutral quality of all of the opaque colors that are in this collection. Glitters like this will stand out really well over those colors. For G's description, one spring morning a sparkling hint of brilliance appeared in the periphery where wild raspberry patches thrived. A ruby fruit twinkled. Like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, the raspberries found their ruby slippers, turned the graying world of black and white into a beautiful spring day. In the light of the sun of the new day, a micro leafy green glitters and sparkle fuchsia berries float. Combine this glitter with any of the opaque colors in this collection or use 3 coats of this to see a kaboom of glitter. The next color I have is called Small Dim Summer Stars, and this is a color, this is I think one of my other favorite colors in the collection. It is a dark, stormy, sort of charcoaly asphalt pencil lead sort of color, which is a really vague description, but it's got a bunch of shimmer packed into it, and it's one of those colors from Rescue Beauty Lounge that I think really illustrates what Rescue Beauty Lounge does really well, which is really opaque shimmers. I have happened to love almost every single shimmer that I've gotten from Rescue Beauty Lounge because they just work really, really well. They're one coat nail polishes, they're shiny, the shimmer doesn't fall too badly. So this nail polish falls perfectly in line with those colors, and I absolutely love it. It's dark, but it's got a really strong teal flash as well as some gold, a little bit of green, a little bit of purple. This is a great sort of going out color. It's a nice dark without being too black. It's a nice shimmer without being too glittery. G describes it as lost in the woods on a moonless, unilluminated night. They stumble through the darkness, looking up at the sky amid the fragrant forest. The weeping willow tree branches recite a monologue in the distance. A whippoorwill sopranos. Its cadenza joins to compete. I literally like cannot read right now, which is always an issue apparently. Then they appeared, countless tiny stars embedded in the dark sky. It was always there to be found in every gentle, trusting heart. Its sweltering, silvery black base, hammered with multifaceted and spectacular green, blue, pink, shimmery, glittery, twinkling stars, will bring you back to that summer night long ago, full of wonder and beauty. And the last color I have to show you is called As Sweet Companions, and it is a clear base with a ton of purple and black hexagonal glitter, and this is definitely a top coat. This is something that you layer over other colors. I think it looks really, really pretty, and it pops really well over the colors that are in this collection, but you can definitely put this over almost any color that you already own, and it's going to be a really fun, really girly glitter without being like super in your face pink or like rainbow glitter, for example. And for the description that G provided, as sweet companions, in the end it was the hardship and the beauty that all flourished together. The sonatas will always have the contrasting movement that settles what the perfect ending was meant to be. The silver lavender and the matte black glitter were meant to be playmates. It is not your typical screaming glitter. It's more discreet, reserved with muted tones. You can create a perfect polka dot nail art overlay with any of the opaque colors from this collection as a base. Or better yet, for those who want it real, layer it on for jeweled digits. So those are all of the colors in the collection. There are 7 colors in the collection. I personally, again, really liked this collection. I think together it is it's comprehensive as a collection. I love the context that is involved with it, and I I like that it's a transition collection. It's not your typical spring collection. It's not full of, you know, pastel creams, which a lot of companies are doing this spring, which is why I haven't come out with like a favorite spring nail polishes video, but it's not completely assigned to one season. I think there are a lot of colors that you can use throughout the year. And this was totally random, but I was filming some of the colors outside for my little intro bits that I do, and I realized that this collection is basically the colors of my house. On my deck there is quite a bit of like moss on the wood on my deck, but it's an old house, and so the wood on my deck is worn down, it's grayed out, and I have all these like potted plants, and I have some pink flowers and some purple flowers, and I have some pots that are like sort of a grayish color, and all these colors sort of combined. And I was filming and I looked around my house and I realized this collection completely mirrors the outside of my house. And so I totally, again, personally connected to that collection. So I just felt really personally connected to this collection, and I thought it was a really nice reflection on just kind of the environment and the things around you, and some of the things that you don't really realize how beautiful they are until you stop and look at them or are given a nail polish collection that completely mirrors your environment that you grew up in for 24 years. So yeah, that is the Poem collection by Rescue Beauty Lounge. These swatches of the colors that I have for you, again, will be linked in the description box. A ton of other bloggers are also going to be launching the swatches at the same time as me, so I will try and link some of them in the description box down below so you guys can see them. I'm actually going to be in school when this launches, but when I get home, the minute I get home, I will look up swatches from all the bloggers that G has sent all of these polishes to, that I am personally freaking out about being in the same company as them, and I will link all of them down below so you guys can see their polishes. You can see their swatches as well as mine. The 48-hour pre-order for this collection will start on Friday. And again, please check the description box down below for all the links. You will see all of the inspiration behind this collection, as well as some other cool resources for Rescue Beauty Lounge. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys loved these colors as much as I loved these colors. For all of you that are kind of bookwormy or a little bit more whimsical or dreamy, kind of like I am, and love this sort of concept for nail polishes, I hope you guys absolutely loved it like I did. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and please like, comment, or subscribe. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I love having you here, and I will see you guys soon.